right, Victorum Gaming fans, we're back with another video for SPQR, and this is another in our series covering the different hero talent trees, and today we're going to take a look at Titan of Battle, and this one is also geared towards melee, and does some, basically drastically increases the potential damage and lethality that your hero can put out. So, Titan of Battle. So the hero has the Eye of the Gods upon his every action in battle, and equipped with a weapon most men can barely lift, he's able to defeat anyone he faces. Shield walls are no obstacle to him, nor has armor been crafted that can withstand his blows. If an enemy wants to defeat the warband, they must first defeat this hero. So there is a special prerequisite to even use or get into this talent tree, and that's basically only by heroes with a weapon that has the Smasher rule. And again, we'll cover weapons in a separate series of videos and all that, but basically think like two-handed weapons and stuff like that. So, and Smasher, again, basically lets you ignore parries, so you're going to go just basically straight to the armor save step, and a lot of these abilities will basically make mincemeat out of the enemy's armor. So this is one of the shorter or smaller trees. It's just a straight line, so there's no deviations or anything. And again, this is melee focused, and this one does have some stat requirements, and basically goes from +2, +3 to +4 as we progress through the tree. So starting off, Hammer of the Gods. So certainly a good one to pick up for heroes that do have the Smasher weapon, melee +2 or higher, which I think pretty much every army that gets access to those Smasher weapons, those heroes kind of start off at melee +2 anyway, so you're no difficulties in picking up this first ability. There is no armor that can defend against this hero's attack, and anyone standing against him is likely to be left a bloody stain on the ground. When using a Smasher weapon, the hero gains a +1 bonus to the lethal special rule. So, for example, like lethal 2 becomes lethal 3, etc., etc. So, yeah, just bumping up your lethal by an extra 1 is a no-brainer. There's no downside to this whatsoever. So, the higher lethal goes, the worse their armor save gets, and the more potential damage you can do to things like just non-heroes and stuff like that too. So yeah, super good there. Mightiest Swing goes a little bit different. It does require melee of 3 or better, and then this is basically a great way to sort of clear out a whole bunch of enemies around you. It's almost like a cleave type of attack. So swinging his weapon in a great arc, the hero knocks lesser mortals flying. The hero rolls a number of melee dice equal to the number of enemy models within one of him. Any models that survive this attack will suffer an automatic knockdown. So pretty cool ability. So if you can kind of, there's different uses here. So, if you have your hero leading a unit, there's obviously only so many enemies that are going to get close to him. But this could be kind of maybe set up to have a hero that's geared a little bit more, almost not necessarily suicidal, but kind of like little berserkers that you want to send off towards maybe smaller or weaker enemy units, and just try to get as many of them around you as possible. And ideally, you have something like Hammer of the Gods already, so you can definitely get the most out of your lethal ability. And surround yourself with enemies. Hit them, and assuming they don't die, then any models that survive suffer automatic knockdown, which is pretty cool. So, just super strong ability. And if you start gearing up several heroes like this that are basically like little like berserker units onto themselves, that you kind of just throw at enemies to disrupt their lines a little bit and basically just cause as much damage as possible before being taken out. Super cool. And if you invest a little bit on the defensive side for your hero too, just to keep them fighting as long as possible, that damage is going to add up. So the longer your hero is surrounded by the enemy and they're not able to kill you, that mightiest swing is going to start dropping the enemies like flies. So really cool ability there. Worth considering for those type of armies that, again, you can use the heroes like that. And then the last one, Mightiest Blow, is a special melee action. Melee +4 requirement here. So gathering his strength, the hero brings his weapon down in an overhead blow that will crush anything before him. The hero rolls only a single melee die, but it gains lethal 6, which is really cool. And depending on how those interact with Hammer of the Gods, because that's just a passive, so that might even be like lethal 7 potentially there. Maybe not, though. We'll have to definitely check the FAQ on that. But in either case, lethal 6 is already pretty damn nasty. So your opposing heroes aren't necessarily going to stand up to that at all, really. You can't really have armor that deals with that. So that's just going to go straight into wounds, and certainly also lets you squish non-heroes with ease there, too. So a single die, again, heroes, I think, with lethal get to cause multiple damage to non-heroes. So you can certainly still chop down what regular guys, but if you're getting surrounded again, that's the mightiest swing option's pretty good there too. So Titan of Battle is definitely a really cool little tech tree, and for those armies that have heroes that get smasher weapons, well worth looking at if you don't want to go the Sword of Vengeance route, just because this in a way can potentially cause more damage, which again, just depending on how you're kitting out your heroes, leading your units and stuff like that, and what you want to do, this can also be a worthwhile one to look at. So Titan of Battle, definitely really cool. So, and again, your armies there that have access to the smasher weapons on your heroes, you might consider equipping them with those to go this route, if instead of just having every hero basically have a sword and kind of have like nothing but cookie cutter heroes that all do like the Sword of Vengeance tree. So, when your opponents realize that you have access to things like, +1 lethal, and, crazy stuff like lethal 6, they're going to be forced to play around that and react to you. So yeah, really cool tree. If you guys enjoyed this video, hit us with a like and a subscribe if you haven't already, and stay tuned for more SPQR content.